I'm logged in as an admin of the Rochester office. We're going to go ahead and talk today about getting started with using the capital title integration within zipForm. The first thing you'll need to do is turn the integration on, and by logging in, you go to Me, Profile and Settings. This is a personal setting. I cannot turn this on for you individually. Each individual who wants to use the integration needs to turn it on. Otherwise, your screen will look like it does right now before it's turned on. Once it is turned on, then you'll start seeing the options on the upper right of every transaction. So when you go to Me, Profile and Settings, go over to Settings. This is the same space that you would link your DocuSign account. As you scroll down, you'll see other options. So right here, Title Integrations, turn it on, and then set whatever branch is your default. Be sure that you come back to the top and click Save. Otherwise, it won't turn on. So the next thing you would do is go to Notification Settings and set up the notifications that you would like to receive. You will receive, if you turn them all on, when something is ordered, or when when you've ordered something, or the agent will get it if you've ordered on their behalf. And same thing, title documents, so when anything is received, and notes when notes are received. So the notes is actually the chat feature within. You also need to hit save here. I will warn you at this moment, what is it, January the 8th, they are having some duplication going on with notifications. So normally when we have a notification problem, it's we don't get the notifications, but currently it's the opposite. You're getting too many. So it's just duplicating 5 to 8 times what is being sent. So it is a bit annoying, however, less annoying than not getting them at all. So bear with us. They are actively working on it. They assured me that they have isolated the issue, and they're working on getting the fix applied. So we will go back to kind of our home screen. We're here on our dashboard, and let's go to transactions. So we are going to say, okay, let's look at one that's already been ordered, so we can kind of reverse engineer what we're going to talk about here. Basically, your abilities within a transaction now will be to open a new title order, to communicate documents, and to send notes back and forth. You'll also be able to cancel orders and request like a deal off, so, or a fall through, whatever you want to call it, mutual release. So those are kind of the things that you can do. This is what it looks like when the title order has been requested. So when you order title, this is what it'll look like after the capital title representative has acknowledged the order. When you first ask for the title to be opened, you'll just get a file number. The title order number will be blank. That'll be blank, and this will say title requested. And once they acknowledge, this is what it looks like. So let's go into one that doesn't have title requested yet. We may have to go back a little ways here. I'm not sure about this one. It might be this one that I'm looking for. Nope, that one's been requested as well. I use this account, Tavio uses this account, and Scott. So anytime any of us are testing or demoing, sometimes we step on each other's toes a little bit with the title. Ah, dang, that one's canceled. So let's copy one. I like this one. It has a lot of information in it. We're just going to go ahead and copy this and say, copy all the purchase information and give us our documents. Refresh that page. This should be the copied one. Yes. See, now here, when you first open a transaction, after you do your processing, you'll notice that this widget appears. So the first one that we looked at had kind of a title already requested and acknowledged by Capital. Now we see this one here is just kind of blank. It just says title orders. When we initially rolled this out, there was like a pop-up. So anytime I would navigate away from that summary screen, this pop-up would come up and say, hey, let's order title. Do you want to order title? What kind of title order is this? And when you would click yes, 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 then it was creating duplicates for Capital. And that's the last thing we want, is to create more work for them. So we've suppressed that. And now it just says the title order is opted out or not sent. So right here just means inaction has been taken for title at this point. So you can request title just by clicking on that button. Oh, but look at that. There are minimum requirements in a transaction. When I copied this transaction, I only copied over the buy side. So now it's saying, hey, we need this information, just basic information of address, city, state, and zip in order to move forward. So let's just pick one of these. This space right here trips up some people. It has to be MI, not Michigan, MI. You go ahead and put that whole Michigan in there and you'll immediately call me saying this does not work, because for some reason it throws blanks in the title order section when you do that. So go ahead and make a mental note, state MI. And I think every person that has initiated the use of this program has made that mistake. I can't tell you how many times I've received an email or a phone call saying, it's not working, it's blank. And what's actually blank when they click on the button is the select a title company office. There just will be nothing in the drop down. So if you encounter that, just check that it says MI. You have options as far as what kind of title order you are requesting to open. You can do a pre-order, buy side, both sides, cash, or list side. If you are not sure, please refer back to the handout that I sent you yesterday. Here is a copy of that handout in PDF form. I'll scroll down to the section. We've already gone over these few things here. I'll scroll down here to the second page. The top of the second page talks about order types, and it gives you a definition or a description of each type. So there should be really no question as far as which type of title that you are requesting. And from there, let's talk a little bit more about this document. Order notes. Basically, these are the live fields between zipForm and RamQuest, or Capital Title's backside. So what happens here is these fields right here are communicated reciprocally. I don't know if that's the word, but these fields update in their system when they're updated in our system. So only the following information is submitted to Capital automatically. Everything else has to be manually pushed. So if you update the property address, the legal description, sale price, closing date, or estimated closing date, any information to the parties of the transaction, buyers, sellers, realtors, or lenders, that information does update over to Capital, or it sends them kind of a flag, I believe, that something has changed and here's what changed. So they can't just log in and go fetch the documents that they need. You do have to send them the documents. So let's say this was my buy side. We're going to click on buy side. I've already set my default title company, so I don't have to check that box again for default. And then here, do not create title order. If for some reason I do not want to use this integration at all for this transaction, I could click do not create title order, but this is kind of a moot point now that there's no pop-up. So when there was a pop-up, people could click that and say do not create title order, and then they would stop seeing the pop-up. So they just haven't kind of gotten rid of that little checkbox yet, and that's okay. So we've got a buy side. When I hit confirm, it goes straight to straight back to your summary page, and you can see title order requested. Now you have 3 choices from here. They have not acknowledged the order yet, and that's okay. You can still add to this. So the choices are request cancellation, send documents, and chat with a rep. I don't want you to think chat is like an instant messenger, or like Facebook Messenger, where you could get on there and kind of go back and forth in real time with them. It's more of a truncated email system. I send them a note, they send me a note. We all get notifications in our emails that notes are there, as long as notifications are turned on. So I'm going to say, please do not process this. It is a demo transaction. I'd like to put my initials after that, just so they know who they're talking to. If you use a generic email, I know Rochester does use those generic email addresses. And I believe for your logins, they're also kind of generic. So please put at least your initials. Your first name would be very helpful. First and last would be awesome, but let's just go ahead and send that. So you'll be able to see what that looks like in one moment from my end. When I open it back up, it creates a log down below the typable area here. If Capital were to answer me, theirs would be on this side. So it is very reminiscent of a chat or a text feature, to where I say it over here, they say it back over there, kind of thing. And the person who is logged in, so the name of the account that is logged in does appear. So you'll know who's responding to you as well. And then send documents. This is a very important part. If your agent has sent documents to Title already, you do not want to use this feature. You don't even want to open Title here, because that just creates a duplicate. And again, we don't want to create duplication for our Capital partners. It is a manual process for them. They don't have like a flagging system built in yet. Hopefully we can enhance these systems, but there's no kind of flag that tells them, hey, somebody's already emailed this, let's not open too. And they can't merge the files. So if, say, an agent has opened it via email, meaning sent the docs over to Capital, and they've acknowledged it on their end, created an order number, we can't then just open it here and say, hey, this is the same file as blah, blah, blah. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. It's one way or the other. It's either by email, or by, physically handing them documents, or by zipForm. So please just communicate with your agents and with your Capital Title rep, so that they know what's happening and that you know what's happening. When I go into send documents, it's very reminiscent of our folder structure. So if your agents are using templates that have a folder structure, or if they create their own folders or whatever, they can go in, you can go in here, and when you're looking at these documents, you can see, anybody with a little bit of zipForm experience can see what's a PDF and what's a zipForm native document. So unsigned documents would have that blue tag on the sides, and then the red is usually a PDF, so it's signed in some version of signed is usually these PDFs. So we could go here and say, all right, let's just send over these documents to Title. I select those two, and then I want to go, yeah, let's put the rest of these in here. I'm not being very careful as far as which documents I'm sending. I'm just clicking on some PDFs here. So when I click send documents, this transmits the documents directly out of zipForm and into their system. There's no more emailing. There's no more merging of documents into a single PDF and then downloading and emailing from your console. It is a straight up transfer of documents from one system to the other system. A lot less middleman, a lot less chances of things being lost. Once these documents are sent, you will be able to go into the history of the transaction, and you'll be able to see exactly which documents were sent and what day they were sent. So right here, sent to Title, these documents. So We don't have to guess what was sent. We don't have to guess who sent it or when they sent it. So that's definitely a great feature. You'll notice, because this was a live transaction that I kind of that I copied before. Let's actually go back into that transaction. I like to keep that one around because I did a demo for the managers on that one, and Amanda over at Capital Title, she is kind of the lead on the Capital Title side, and we were actively working back and forth during that demonstration. So when I selected, you know, order title, she on the other end went ahead and acknowledged that order, you know, put the title order number in there, and we chatted. So it was kind of a real-time thing. So this is what the chat looks like. That's what I said. This is what she sent back. She says, oh, I've uploaded your title commitment. Thank you for your order. Now, I'm not sure if you will need to discuss the expectations with your rep. And I do have your rep's name in my email right now. Do you want them to push the title documents back into these transactions? It is completely possible that they can do this. I have been told that it's completely possible that they can push closing documents as well. So once everything's signed after closing. So when I come in here, I did notice just 1 second ago that Amanda said that she pushed the title commitment in, and here it is, CT title commitment. So I can open that up and look. Yep, that's what the commitments look like. So they do have the ability to publish from their end back into the transaction. They do not have the ability to see what is in your transaction or to add to an existing folder. It will automatically just go to this generic, you know, holding space where kind of the starting point for documents. So with that being said, I can't stress the importance of duplication enough. Please be sure that you're communicating with your title rep and with your agents. We don't want the duplication. And let's also now talk about what happens when deals fall through. And that's it's kind of a big deal. Our policy of keeping listing transactions going with the same transaction and creating new buy transactions is in line with the title process as far as cancellations go. So when it's our listing, we make a folder, you know, for the buyer. And if that buyer falls apart, then what do? We send over the mutual release. And we request the title company. We don't request cancellation because it's still valid title, which, you know, we're still offering title on that listing. So we're not requesting cancellation, but we are sending over the mutual release and any of the documentation that the title may have. And then we're chatting with the title rep and saying, this buyer has backed out. You know, I've sent the mutual release. Please, let's hold off on processing this file until we get a new buyer for the transaction. So at the point you get a new buyer come in with the offer, it's accepted, you can go right ahead, chat again. Hey, this is buyer number 2. We're going to roll with this one, send over the new documents for the sale. And then transversely, if this is our buyer, then the same would normally happen as you know, without using title. You would send over the mutual release and process it as a new process it as a fall through. You would request cancellation in that point at that point because that title order was tied to that property, not to that buyer. So you would copy then the transaction so they've got their PDFs of their signed agency disclosures and all that. They could start new. Agents are really supposed to be doing that. Starting a new transaction for that same buyer. So you can retain the buyer information and those PDFs so they don't have to start completely new. They could plug in their MLS Connect for the new transaction, and really most of their information is still retained. considering doing a webinar for the agents on that, just so they're better informed. I think some of them struggle with that. So, but yep, it's the same policy. Same transaction, same title when it's our listing, new transaction, new title order when it's a buyer. So again, communication is always key. I would like to open up to questions at this point. If you have any, I'm going to open up the chat here. I don't see anything quite yet. I don't think I have missed anything. Can anybody think of anything? I'll open my email just in case anybody tried to email me. Nope, not yet. So with that, I definitely thank you for attending today. Sorry we misconnected yesterday, but that's okay. I definitely had a better technology day today than yesterday. So you didn't miss much in the very beginning yesterday. We had to reset. Carly, I appreciate you attending. Is there anything that you have that you would like to mention? Carly is actually one of the processors for Capital. I'm not sure if you're a processor. I might be misspeaking on your actual role there. I apologize if I am, but Carly is a user, an end user closing coordinator. Awesome. She is the user on Capital Title's side. So it's been very nice to have her here today. I think it's very helpful for us to not know their side, but learn a bit about it. Oh, your title rep is, hold on, let me get that email up. Oops, that's the wrong one. Tavio says, copy. There you go, Deb Nelson. Is that someone, I'm sure that's someone that you're already dealing with, correct? Yep, okay, good. So the Rochester office is Deb Nelson. Carly is Ann Arbor, that whole region there. That's a big area, Carly. You have a lot of offices to cover. They should be using it. Well, Carly, I understand you don't have a mic. If you don't mind typing, I would love to know more about if you're having trouble with duplication. Has that been an issue for you? Have you had quite a few orders yet? I know Megan from Ypsilanti was trained yesterday in our training, so she should start using it soon. Melanie and Meg from Briarwood, Ann Arbor has I don't think Reinhardt is going to initiate this quite yet. So you're going to get a little bit of a break, I think, before they start using it. Can I double check the REO bubble on the second screen? I'll have to log out of this account. Do you mean like for both offices? Is that what you mean, Nancy? So I go to broker settings. Let's double check. I'm going to go ahead and end the recording now, since really what we're talking about is kind of office specific at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. I appreciate anybody who has watched this recording. If you have any questions, please reach out to Maureen P at realestateone.com, and I will gladly answer any of your questions. My phone is 734-239-8297. Have a great day.